Man heard using homophobic, racist language on TikTok, arrested on hate crime charges in California. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not know you could be arrested for hate crimes for speech in California. This is crazy. Soon it's gonna be misgendering. You'll be arrested for misgendering people now. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store where I have I Will Not Comply t-shirts. So check that out as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Crazy, crazy news. A Colorado man was arrested Monday on hate crime charges in California after he was heard making homophobic and racist comments towards an Asian man and woman in a viral TikTok video. Uh, let me preface all this by saying it wasn't right what he was saying, but freedom of speech is freedom of speech. The guy can say whatever the heck he want to say. I don't think someone should be arrested for making idiotic statements. But San Ramon police arrested 40-year-old Jordan Douglas Kraft of Denver on 2 counts of committing a hate crime. He is being held at the Martinez detention facility. The incident took place on Christmas Eve at an In-N-Out Burger in San Ramon, where Arnie Kim and Elliot Ha were filming themselves for a food review. That's when police said a quote, male suspect approached the victims' unprovoked homophobic and racist rant, causing the victims to fear for their safety. The San Ramon Police Chief Detention, Chief Denton Carlson saw the video online and began reaching out to people on social media to identify the suspect and victims, according to police. After contacting the victims, an investigation was launched that led to Mr. Crawl's arrest. Now, they got nothing else better to do than to track down the guy that was talking trash to people eating. I mean, think about that. With all these other terrible, heinous crimes going on around this country, this is what they're worried about. But in the video, a man can be heard derogatorily referring to Mr. Ha and Miss Kim as homosexuals. The man, who was only briefly shown on camera from behind, later refers to Mr. Ha as Kim Jong Un's boyfriend. Mr. Ha made some comments back to the man, who then made racist remarks and said he'd spit in Mr. Ha's face. But I'm gonna mind you here, he never did spit in Mr. Ha's face. In most states, if you spit on someone, that is assault. That is something punishable. But he didn't do that. The man can be heard referring to himself as, quote, slave master and directing a homophobic slur toward Mr. Ha and Miss Kim before saying he would, quote, see you outside in a minute. Both Mr. Ha and Miss Kim said in the video multiple times that the man was staring at them through the restaurant window. I mean, this guy is obviously disturbed to do something like this. But he tweeted out, my friend and I were eating at the In-N-Out in San Ramon when a man began hurling racist slurs and threatening us. California defines a hate crime as, quote, a criminal act committed in whole and part because of one or more of the following actual or perceived characteristics of the victim: disability, gender, nationality, race or ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, association with the personal group with one or more of these actual or perceived characteristics. Now, mind you, again, this flies against constitutional rights and all that other stuff. It's already been voted on before. I'll get to that in a minute. But the state prosecuted 285 hate crimes in 2021, according to a report from the California Department of Justice. In 140 cases, with the deposition made available for the report, 46% of cases resulted in hate crime convictions. 31% led to other kinds of conviction, and 22 were not convicted. Those convicted of hate crimes are subject to up to a year in jail and could pay a $5,000 fine. It's utter ridiculousness here. Words are crimes, but actual violent acts are not. The thought police rule over the once golden state of commie formula. Um, Last I checked, hate speech is still protected by the First Amendment, and the United States Supreme Court has already ruled on the issue. That's what I was alluding to earlier. It was Snyder versus Phelps. The 2011 decision was an 8-1 ruling. It ruled that speech cannot be the basis of liability for a tort or of emotional distress, even in the circumstances that speech is viewed as outrageous or offensive. So the Supreme Court already ruled on this, but you know, commie formula, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. That's why I will never visit California, nor do I want to. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.